It's Passion and Practicality with today's guest, Sue Ryan.
My name is Sue Ryan. I am a proud 2015 graduate of Southern New Hampshire University's master's program, earning my degree in communications with concentrations in digital media and marketing. Today, I'm going to share 4 key questions I've learned to ask to build personal and professional brands and to keep the focus on for our brand over the course of our careers and our lives. The foundation of these is that ultimately with a brand, we want to provide clarity for the people who are working with us and getting to know us and finding us. And we also want to make sure we are building trust. So the foundations of everything are clarity and trust. When we're building the brand, we want to have all of the things we do create guideposts and guardrails for both us and our clients. Guideposts to light the way to how to find us, how to work with us, how to understand us, how to be successful, and also to light our path, and guardrails so that when we're tempted to, we don't veer off into a path that's not going to support the future and the success of our brand. The 4 questions begin with, first of all, who does your brand serve specifically? It's not just people. Who specifically does your brand serve? Who is your ideal client avatar? One of the ways that you can find this is by asking the questions. Go to Google and say, find ideal client avatar. And they'll have a variety of questions you can ask. You want to get very, very specific about that because those are the words they're going to be using. It's what you're going to be presenting and where you're going to be showing up. So you really want to start with getting clear on that. And even if you're not completely clear in the beginning, and as you go over time, you begin to get more clear, you want to start with being as specific as you possibly can. And then what is it you do to bring benefit to your clients? It's not what your features are. It's what's the value that you bring. What's your unique value proposition? In other words, for example, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and Burger King are all fast food restaurants, but they have different things that they bring their brand forward, and they have different things that they don't do. For example, Nike is a very successful brand. Well, you're not going to buy a hot dog at Nike. And so you want to get clear on the value that you are bringing to your client with what it is you do, because that's what all of your language is going to be associated with, the conversations you're having, the people you're attracting. Everything is around the value you bring. What's their life going to look like when they're using your product? The third question, and this is really, really important. It may seem to you to be a little bit like, why would I want to do this? It's the foundation of building trust and providing clarity. And that is, what is your brand personality? I know when I first got started with my brand and I was focusing on leadership coaching for leaders who were emerging in a specific area, I started using language that was more serious, that was more professional. And I looked at that language and I thought, that's not what would come out of my mouth. I was trying to be using language. I thought, well, they would be impressed by that. And I pulled back because that wasn't authentic. That wasn't the way that I would sound if we were having a conversation. And I couldn't sustain that over time. So if you're a more serious person, that's great. Be more serious. If you're more lighthearted, be who you authentically are, because part of trust is authenticity. And if you have any place in your brand where you're not authentic, people will go somewhere else. They're like, that doesn't seem quite right. I don't trust them. And the next one is, are you crystal clear about what you do, why you do it, what you stand for, and what you offer? If you have clarity and it comes through everything you do about why you do it, what caused you to want to do this? Why is it you're doing? What is it that you offer and why is that important to them? And specifically, what is it you do? It's not important that you're the only one. People will say, well, I'm the only one who does this. That's not as important as I am doing the best that I can. I am bringing the most amount of value to my client because I do this. So focus less on being the only one than being the best at what you do, which is bringing your best self. A quick exercise for you to do in closing is look for competitors in what you do and try to find them. But let's say you know their name, but I'll use Nike as an example again. Let's say you wanted to find Nike without using their brand name. What words would you use to find Nike? Do the same thing for people who are in your field or companies that are in your field. Try to find them by using words. And when you find them, keep track of those words. And then look at the language. Look at the words that they are using in their brand messages. That's how people are finding them. If those are the words you want to be using, you want people to be using to find you, if that's what they're going to be doing, there are a lot of websites that can help you do that. There are a lot of search engines that can support you do that. And you can also Google those. But try to find other people when you don't know their name, because in the beginning, people may not know your name either. And you want to make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can to help people easily find your brand, because then when they see it and it's clear and it's authentic and they understand what you do and they understand why you do it, they understand your unique value proposition, and you spoke directly to them, your ideal client avatar, you're using their language. They're like, she gets me, he gets me. That's what helps you build your brand.